Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brooke, my pronouns are she, her, and we're doing weekly reading vlogs. I have been away from YouTube for a hot minute as, you know, life got busy and then the world went to shit. And as I am slowly sort of making my way back into that, I have decided that weekly reading vlogs are like a great way for me to make a habit of YouTube. Because it's something that I enjoy. Today is Sunday, we're starting a weekly reading vlog. Right now, I am currently reading The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I'm on page 178. I'm getting closer to the halfway mark in this, and I probably won't say too much about this book because I am doing a reading vlog for this, which will be either posted before or after, likely after this weekly reading vlog. Keep an eye out for that. So far I'm enjoying it. I will say that the sort of first 100 pages are a bit of a slog to get through, but the writing is beautiful. Things are starting to pick up now and I'm intrigued and I'm enjoying it a lot more than when I first started. I do want to finish this week. It is one of the slower reads that I have read so far this year, and I think, like, I'm reserving judgment on it until I finish because I feel like this is one of those books that you need to have, like, the full picture on before you can really say anything. My thoughts right now are that we probably could have sped up a bit of the beginning, but I'm gonna wait and see how it ends to have the full context before I give my true thoughts. I'm also waiting for my pre-order of The War of Two Queens by Jennifer L. Armentrout that I'm hoping is gonna come tomorrow. Fingers crossed. I did get a shipping notification on Friday, Thursday? I don't know, a few days ago, so I'm hoping that it's gonna be in on Monday. I'm off on Monday, so I hopefully can binge read that in a day or two. I have seen so much commentary on this book. Like, so many people have said they're not going to continue reading the series because of things that happen in this book. And so I'm scared because I love From Blood and Ash series and I'm concerned about what's going on in book 4 to make people not want to read it. I have an inkling of what it is, if it's what I think it is, which is a certain relationship between a number of characters, which in my brain I go, it's been hinted at from book 2, so unless it plays out like really wrongly, I don't know why people are mad, but I don't know yet because I haven't read it and I am desperately trying to avoid spoilers wherever possible, so I'm like really hoping that that comes out on Monday so I can just binge read the heck out of it. That's what's going on this week thus far. I hope you enjoy. I'll see you later. I have decided to go for a walk today. It's springtime, things are warming up and melting. It is a bit rainy and windy today, so I don't know exactly how long I'll be out. But I'm making myself a cup of tea and bringing along an ebook on my phone, and I'm gonna go take a bit of a walk today. I'm very excited about it. It feels so nice to be outside and just breathe in the fresh air that doesn't hurt my face. Also to hear all the birds singing and the crows cawing. I feel like it's just especially quiet during the winter months, and it was either this morning or yesterday morning when I woke up and I heard the birds singing, and I realized like I hadn't really heard them sing when I woke up for a while. And it's just kind of nice that sort of everything's thawing, everything's waking up. And even though it's a bit rainy, it's a bit chilly today, overcast, I wanted to come out and enjoy the weather, the outside, something I rarely do. So I just got a email, well, a couple of hours ago, that my shipment is out for delivery, which is War of Two Queens. It's coming today! Hooray! I'm so excited. I'm on page 241 of Addie LaRue. I'm just past the halfway point. Definitely not going to finish it before War of Two Queens gets here, but that's okay. I'm going to go binge read War of Two Queens when it comes in, and I feel like I'll read like a chapter or two of Addie LaRue as like a break from War of Two Queens if I need it, or I'm just going to binge War of Two Queens and then go back to Addie LaRue. Like, I don't know. We'll see. I feel like I'll finish Addie LaRue this week though, because it's starting to get really intriguing. And things are starting to tie in together, and I'm starting to see how things connect. So it's one of those books where you kind of have to hold on and just like stick with it, and then it's like gratifying. I'm very, very excited for War of Two Queens to get here. I'm like desperate to find out why people are so upset about it. Can't wait. My hair is like wild. I tried a new diffusing method to try and bring out my natural wave pattern, and it just gave me like a lion's mane. So I put it into a bun, and now that it's late in the evening and I'm getting ready to go to bed, I've taken it out, and it's just, don't know. So my book mail never came today. Sad. I don't know why. They sent me an email that my shipment is out for delivery, and that's typically like they're pretty on point with that, like it's typically correct, but for some reason the mail never showed up today, which I find odd, and I was like, is it a holiday? Like, what's going on? It wasn't a holiday. No clue why the mail didn't come today. Hopefully it's gonna show up tomorrow. However, that did allow me to read more of Addie LaRue, and now I only have like roughly 140 pages, just under 140 pages left, which is wild considering how long it took me to read the first 100 pages. The writing is beautiful. There's a moment in here that's almost like literal poetry. There's a few moments, and it's like, not only is it the way the lines are arranged, but it's just what is contained within the lines. I would consider it legit poetry. It's beautiful. And it has this like uncanny ability of being like oddly specific, but like oddly relatable. I'm definitely intrigued about where the story is going. I have an inkling. I, of course, have peeked at the end of the book because that's just who I am. So I vaguely know how it ends. I don't know the full context. I have no idea how we get there, which is why I'm always okay with reading the ending and spoiling it for myself, because I go, how the heck did we go from this to this? Anyways, I'm just like so intrigued as to like how we're going to get to the end of this book. I have a couple of ideas, a couple of theories, but I'm unsure. Now that I have only like 130 some odd pages left of this book, I think I'm gonna try to finish Addie LaRue before I start War of Two Queens. Finish this up neat and tidy before moving on to my next read. Just made such a wild discovery. Okay, so I was reading Addie LaRue before I have to head out to work, and I noticed that the date of the chapter I was reading is March 19th, 2014, and I was like reflecting on how wild it is to read a book sort of in the same month that it takes place like years later. And I was wondering, because March 19th was only a few days ago, so I was like, I wonder if I'm going to read a chapter on the same day it takes place like years later. And I was like, it just hits differently reading a book in the same month it takes place. Like, I can't explain it, but it feels like a kind of fate. I don't know. It's just like, it hits different. And so I was looking through the book for some other reason, and I noticed that the first chapter that takes place in like the present in Addie LaRue starts on March 10th, 2014, and I logged in Goodreads that I started reading this book on March 10th. And I don't know why, but it's just like blown my mind. Like, maybe I'm reading this book right now for a reason. Like, maybe fate and the universe has intervened and it was like, you need to, this is the time for you to read this book. You've been putting it off, but now is the time. I don't know. Something seems to be afoot. That's all I can say. Well, so much for reading a chapter on the day it takes place. We're now in April in this book. So unless I stop reading until April, it's not gonna happen. And this close to the end, I'm not putting it off. Good morning. I'm just about to head to work, but I finished The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue last night and started War of Two Queens, which I have been reading all morning, and I'm enjoying it so far. I'm not entirely certain yet why people are raging about War of Two Queens, but I'm gonna find out. I'm very excited to find out. Like, I don't know why, I'm just like pumped to see why everyone's upset, you know? Invisible Life of Addie LaRue was really good. I cried for like the last 20 pages. And it's definitely a book that's gonna stay stuck in my little heart for a hot minute. I can see why it gets the hype that it gets. I think the hype it gets is misleading. It sort of builds the book up to be something different than what it is, in my opinion. But it's still a very, very good book. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. It's like a beautiful commentary on life and art. Living. What it means to live. It's a gorgeous read, even though it's very slow, but that's fine. So yeah, now we're reading War of Two Queens. I'm very excited. I'm texting my coworker who's also reading it. I did this when I read Crescent City 2. We read it at the same time, so we were like texting back and forth all of our theories and stuff, and it just makes reading so much fun. So I can't wait. I can't wait to find out why people are mad and then text my coworker about it. I finished it! Not gonna lie, I spent all day yesterday reading and avoiding everything else that I was supposed to do. Okay, so I am giving this book a 3.75 stars. That's what my gut is telling me to go with. I enjoyed it. I honestly, like, finishing the book, I was like, I don't get why people are so angry. Because I'm trying to keep this as spoiler-free as possible. So, because if it's why I think it was, because of a certain relationship dynamic that happens in this book that has been hinted at since book 2, I was like, why? So then after I finished this book, I went and read some of the negative reviews about it just to see like what and why people were upset. And after reading like what specifically they didn't like and their reasoning for it, I go, yeah, okay, I can understand why you wouldn't like it. And that's fine. I didn't read it like they read it. So, I mean, I enjoyed it. It definitely felt a little bit like middle book syndrome. Lots of setup happened for the next 2 books. But I liked it, and I liked the direction that it went in. It was like entertaining. I read it super fast. There are definitely moments in this book that I go, didn't love. Definitely gonna go reread, eventually, not right now, the rest of this series because I want to see how the character journeys arc over all of the books and how everything sort of fits in together. That's the big thing, because there was some changes in War of Two Queens that is what a lot of people are upset about. It felt drastic to a lot of people. Certain aspects to me felt a little like odd, and other things felt fine for me. So I'm curious to see how everything sort of tracks all together. I'm definitely going to continue the series. Apparently this book, people hated it so much that they aren't going to read the rest of them. I'm definitely going to continue. I still like JLA as an author. I just find her books like very easy to read. Some of the writing I feel is a bit odd. There's like a mix of very modern writing and also like high fantasy style writing. She has a very specific and unique writing style, but I enjoy her books overall. They're very easy for me to get lost in and sort of put reality on pause for while I'm reading. So I enjoy that aspect about them. I definitely like thought that the reason people were going to be upset would be way more obvious, and after I finished it really wasn't. Like, I had an inkling on why people were mad, but it didn't jump out at me like I thought it would. The book and JLA are getting a lot of hate, and that I definitely don't understand. Like, if you didn't like it, you didn't like it, but it didn't seem like that strong of an issue to me, personally. It's just my reading experience and how I interpreted all of the events. Definitely don't agree with all the hate that this book and the author are getting from this book. Like, that is a little extreme to me. I can see why people might not be a fan of it, but all the hate they're getting is like a bit much. A bit much. I did pick out my next book. Hang on. And it's from my TBR. This book was calling to me to read next, In Deep Waters by F.T. Lukens. It's a YA fantasy romance. I mean, can we just appreciate the beauty that is this cover? I'm actually super excited to get into this. I've heard good things about it. We have princes and forbidden magic, pirates, a kidnapping. We have to save a kingdom. I'm excited. Morning. So I'm really not too far into it, but I think this is going to be a really cute read. It just feels a little bit like wholesome. The main character, it has just like such a big heart, and I think that this is just going to be a really cute read that's going to make me smile. I'm looking forward to that. I mean, it snowed this morning, so I could use some happiness. It's good so far. I'm enjoying it, so that's good. But this does bring us to the end of the weekly reading vlog, so thank you so much for watching. I'm going to continue reading this in next week's vlog, and so if you want to know my thoughts about this book, stay tuned. Watch for next week's weekly reading vlog. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you next week. Bye!